What is up, guys? So I have the new Hoyt Alpha AX-2, AX-2. I don't know. I think that's how you say it. Anyways, I got it pretty well done. It took me a while to get some bullet holes out of it, but I ended up getting it. The grip is what is kind of been messing with me. It's honestly, I love this grip way more than any other grip that I've had in a while, but it's just going to take some getting used to. So the bullet holes are kind of sporadic, but they're there, and that's what makes me confident that this bow is ready to go. So I took it out. I got my 20 yards sighted in here, if you can tell. So honestly, it's a little higher up than normal, so I'm actually pretty excited to see what kind of yardage I can get out of this sight tape. But now I am doing the Precision Cut Archery calibration tapes. So as you can see, this is the calibration tape right there. And then I have some measurements on here that I took. So the first measurements that I took were the peep sight to the arrow. So you put it in a draw board, or if you have a friend, you can try that. I'll try to do it again because I forgot to record while I was doing all this stuff. So I may do it again. I may just explain it to you. But you draw the bow back all the way, and then you measure from the center of your peep sight to the center of the arrow. Okay, and that's one measurement. And then at full draw, you go from the peep sight to the sight housing unit. And honestly, these single posts are really awesome because you can just stack them right in there normally, and they work like a dream, right? And so that is the second measurement. So the first measurement, I got 3 1/4. The second measurement, I got 31 5/8. So I will transpose that and put them into decimals and put them in the computer program, which I will show you in a second. Next is the speed. So I have my chronograph set up. I'm gonna just shoot probably 5, I'll probably shoot 3 arrows unless it duplicates on the first 2. So yeah, I'm gonna shoot 2 to 3 arrows, get a good speed of the bow, and then I'll put that on here. And then the calibration tape. So that is the next big step. And so here's the calibration tape that you can print off on their website, right? So basically what I do is I split it down the middle, like so, if you can see that. I split it down the middle, and then I just tape it on whatever sight I'm running, because it's just it's a quick reference mark. It's not in stone or permanent or anything like that. So I'm going to get a quick reference for the calibration tape. From there, all I will need to do is I'll need to get a 30-yard mark and then like an 80 or 90-yard mark. Now they say the further out you can get, the better, because it gives you more accuracy. I usually go 30 to 80 because that's, honestly, 80 is kind of pushing it for me. That's like my max comfort level. And with this bow, I don't know if I'll be comfortable to shoot that far yet. But that is the next step. I'm going to go shoot through the chrono quick and then get her through there. So the arrows that I'm using this year are Serious Archery products, and these are the Orions. They are a 166 arrow with the Boning Atlas vanes on the back with a wrap. These are coming in right around 447, 448, 446. So I was gunning for about 450. I'm coming in 3 to 4 grains short of that. I'm perfectly good with that. And then I got another half a dozen on the way, so I will be running a dozen of those this year with the same configuration. I'm really loving these right now. So so yeah, I am going to be running these. I'm really excited to put these down range. And then I think that's it. So I'm going to go put it through the chrono. I'll take you guys with quick so we can get a decent look at what the chronograph is spitting and how fast this Atlas is. Now, some quick specs. So like I said, I'm going to average it out to a 447 grain arrow. That is total arrow weight with a 100 grain tip, and I believe 65 grains up front. So honestly, that's a really good arrow for me. The specs are, I believe it is set at 31 inches for a draw length. It is a 32-inch ATA bow, so shorter than I'm used to. And it is at 70, like right at 71 pounds, like 70.8 to 71.2. So I drew it 3 times, I averaged it to 71 pounds. So this thing is I'm excited for it, and I'm really excited to see the speeds we get. So let's go check it out. Okay guys, so this has taken like a course of like 4 days. Wind was howling the other day, so I did not get a chance to get out and shoot. Finally, for the first time in like a week, we have 0 wind, so I got out. I got a really good sight tape. So this is the Precision Cut Archery sight tapes. Now you can customize these colors. I think there's 10 colors to choose from. I go with orange and white. That's what I did on this. Stands out a little bit better. It helps me differentiate the yardage markers. You can also customize. I always put the 5. I don't know if you can see that or not. Probably not. Nope, you can't really. But I always put the 5 yards mark, so it goes 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, all the way down to 130. And then every 10 yards, I change the color from orange to white. So orange, white, orange, white. And like I said, you can customize this a lot of different ways. It is a super cool program. And honestly, it's really easy. You can separate each different bow build. So I think I have 4 or 5 different bow builds for different bows that I have, different sights that I have. So super, super easy to calculate once you get those measurements of the peep height and the sight to the peep. Super, super easy to calculate the rest, and the calibration tape makes it really easy to sight it in. And honestly, like, I was planning on going and working back from like starting at 20 and then 30 and then 40 and just kind of working back tag yard increments. What I remembered from the last calibration tape I did was my 197 feet per second bow was at about 115 on the calibration tape, which I'll show you right here. This is the calibration tape. You can't see it, I'm sure, but it's a much smaller fine-tuned tape, and it goes out to 210. It starts at 0 and it goes to 210. So basically what I do is I use it as a sight tape. I set it on the top tick mark. I go and sight into 20 using the gang adjustment on your sight housing. And then from there I go back to 30 and I dial in my 30, and that is my first mark there. So you can see at 15, well, you can't see, but 15 is my first mark on this sight tape, and then my 80-yard mark, that's my 30-yard mark, I should say. The 15 is my 30-yard mark, and then my 80-yard mark was right at like 117, I think. And my other one was at like 121 or something like that. So I kind of guessed a little bit, and I just sent a few at 180, and I hit pretty darn close right off the bat. Little risky if you don't have a ton of arrows, or maybe not the most experienced archer, I wouldn't recommend it, but I got pretty consistent groups at 80. I'm still working out the rest. It is a little different feel. I love the feel. It's just a different feel. So I got to kind of get comfortable with that and kind of work that in. But now I'm going to cut this out and tape it onto the bow. And then I'm going to verify the sight tape to make sure that it is actually accurate. And then the second sight tape I do, I will waterproof. And the way I waterproof is really simple. I get Scotch tape. I tape it on both sides, make it look nice, and then I tape it to the sight. I've had no issues with it on any bow. That's how I've waterproofed all of the bows that or all the sight tapes that I have. I've had no issues with it. It works really, really well. And yeah, so Precision Cut Archery, if you are not using it, I would definitely recommend checking it out because it is super nice. Otherwise, yeah, I'm going to cut it out, throw it on, and then we're going to verify. Let's roll.